Welcome to this edition of Wealth Coherence. Do you ever do anything with him where if it's something he really wants and he doesn't want to have to wait, that there's ways that he can earn the money towards getting it? Or would you prefer to have more say about when and how he gets things?
So he receives an allowance with the understanding that there are certain responsibilities in our home. Like he doesn't get the allowance for certain chores. It's like you have certain responsibilities within our household and our family. And if you're keeping up with those responsibilities, you get this allowance. And part of the allowance, we do the save, share, spend. And so
Do you divvy it up? Do you divvy it up equally, or what's the percentage for
so
how much
we
he gives, how much he
so
shares?
what will be the percentage? 20% for saving, 20% for sharing, and the 60% for spending is what we have currently. And those percentages could change, as it increases. And actually, this year I have been working with him to keep a ledger for himself, so he can see how that money is growing, and also see where he's spending money, because I wanted him to start seeing, like, I don't think he's always aware of what he's done with his money.
No.
These thoughts are so fleeting, right? And so for him to be able to look back now at 6 months at the end of the year and say, oh, I chose to save my money in this way or this way, or spend my money in this way or this way. And so to your question, there are times where he's wanted something and I've said, I could give you an advance on your allowance. Like maybe he's just $1 away. I could give you an advance on your allowance. There's something special, sort of out of the ordinary around the house that I need your help with. You could earn some money doing that. So there have been different ways, also like matching his money. So if I think when he gives his next bit of money that he's been saving to share, to give, I'll probably end up matching that, so that kind of shows up in different ways.
And does he have parameters around what he can spend on and what he can give to based on your values, or do you explore together? Like, some parents, it's like, this is your money to spend, and we don't spend on toy guns, we don't spend on sugary things. And then giving, it's like, well, these are the things that we as a family have decided that we really want to give to. If you want to give to something different, you'll have to kind of make your case for it and why it would be a good thing to give to. So how do you do it with your son?
Right now, there's a lot of flexibility around it because I'm still finding my way with this too. I think he's only given one pot of money. And this was kind of interesting for me. He was at a summer camp and they were raising money to give to an organization that would allow other kids to go to camp, sort of scholarships. And he wanted to give to this. And then there was, there was one of those pamphlets that it was like, if you give X amount of money, you get this prize. I was really torn about that because I feel like giving should be without any sort of the reward is an intrinsic reward. It's the giving in and of itself. It's making a difference in somebody else's life.
Yeah.
And so we talked a little bit about that at that time. But I like him to direct that money, and I want him to have that exploration. I do have some restrictions around toys. There are a couple toys that, like no guns, I've said, and a few others that I'm like, oh, I really don't want those in my house. And also on the spending side, like we go to a lot of bookstores. We probably go to bookstores more than we go to toy stores. And so I learned this from a writer friend of mine online, and I don't remember how it came up, but somehow I learned that with her son, who's much older, they had a rule that mom and dad would buy all the books that you wanted, but he had to earn the money for his toys. And I was like, I kind of like that, I'm gonna, and we don't entirely do that. There's, of course, I buy toys for, birthday and Hanukkah and whatever. But I do adhere to, like, we go to a bookstore and you want a book, you want 5 books. I'm going to, yes, there's going to be kind of a budget to it, but I'm going to buy you whatever books you want. Because that's something that I value. My father valued that. You have books behind you. I have books behind me,
we're always recommending books to each other. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
that's
felt like
great.
that was something that I wanted to instill in him, was a love of books in that way.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my favorite things to do with one of my stepdaughters is finding used bookstores, and we
Mhm.
will just spend hours in those, and it's like these treasure troves for us, and it's like
Yeah.
it's so like there's a whole experiential thing along with the book buying start part too. I love that. That's a great story. And
Yeah.
I had another guest on, and she said that she pays her son to read, like that's how he gets his allowance. And I'm like,
Wow.
well, I guess some kids need incentive to read. I know your son does not need
No,
that, but
he does not. No. But he
it's
does, he does love the summer reading challenges, where the one that we
Mhm.
do, there's a local family at the school that he goes to that owns an ice cream shop. And so they've said,
Oh,
if you bring in the summer reading challenge, you'll get a free ice cream cone. So he does get some incentive along the way, but
sure.
only in the
But that's
summer.
a reward for something he loves doing anyway,
Yes,
so it's so
exactly.
great.
I
That's
mean,
so
win-win.
fun. Oh my gosh, I love this.